welcome back. It's a glorious morning here on the farm. Genuinely every single morning I have these lambs and a ewe today playing on this heap of soil. They either go into that field there or this one here, but these lambs just aren't having it. But it's nice to see them playful and happy. It just takes a bit more time. So a bit different to my usual farming day. I'm at Bentham Auction Market and I've actually been working in the office. My sister works here full time and they've had a really busy sale day and they needed some help with some of the passports and the cattle paperwork. I hope to get a bit more footage of working at Bentham yesterday, but we were just absolutely flat out. So I thought I'd explain a tiny bit more about what I was doing there. There were a lot of cattle in on that sale day. Sheep numbers there are really strong as well. But my main job was to sticker, date and sign the cattle passports. For those of you who don't know, every cow in the UK has a cattle passport. It has things like its date of birth on it, and it also has a unique identification number which corresponds to the cow's ear tag number. Every time a cow moves on or off a holding, so a farm or land or buildings, or for example to a show or an auction market, the passport has to be updated with the date and a holding number, so often a sticker with a barcode for the place it's moved on and off from. Now, this is genuinely quite a time-consuming process. It's one of those where it's the kind of paperwork side of farming. Albeit this can be a bit of a drag, it's also an absolutely vital traceability system. Farmers are really trusted in the supply chain. I think even the most trusted part of the supply chain. And I guess through things like the cattle movements, we can prove exactly where cows have been. This is vital for consumers when we're looking at British beef and meat going into the food chain. It's also really important if there's a disease outbreak. It means that the cattle can be traced from wherever they've been, which other cattle they might have come into contact with. So it helps in the case of that as well. The other thing which is absolutely vital when it comes to livestock markets is how they act as a kind of social hub and a chance for farmers to chat to other farmers, auctioneers, people in the office, hauliers, anyone else they come across. And I notice that when I'm often working here on the farm and it's often just me or my mum and my dad, but we're not really in contact with lots of other people. So the chance to speak to everybody else, see how the land's lying, discuss everything that's going on the farm is so important. Invaluable in fact, and it's interesting the sort of conversations which you have in the office, and it's so important to give farmers the time. Even if you're busy, you've got paperwork up to your eyeballs, giving some farmers 5 minutes just to have a chat, mull things over is so important. Yesterday a lot of people were talking about the weather, and I talked about this over my Instagram in that for most people, the weather is kind of a key to if you're going to enjoy your weekend or your evening, or, you know, what clothes you're going to wear. But for farmers, it's just so vital for decision making. It can impact the farm massively, both negatively and positively. So yesterday was really nice weather and it was amazing. It gave farmers a bit of a buzz. You could see that they were happy. Maybe it was time to turn their cattle out or their sheep out. It meant that they could get onto fields which they hadn't got onto before. So it's amazing how much little things seem to make an absolutely massive difference to farmers' moods and mindset. Now, this week I was meant to be showing you the hens outside with the lifting of the poultry housing order. However, as just kind of sums up farming and the unexpected, the fox has been and killed all my hens. So the delightful big fluffy grey ones, they're my Orpingtons, white Sussex, silky, just some normal brown ones, black rocks, all gone. Now, the thing about foxes is that they are portrayed as very kind of cute, cuddly, playful creatures. Actually, when it comes to farming, they are an absolute terror. With a hen hut full of hens, obviously the fox will get in, but it won't just kill one and eat it and then fill its tummy. It will kill them all, bites their heads off, and then leaves them there in the hut. And then what will happen is that fox will keep returning, however many nights it takes, or even days. If they're really hungry, they might come in the daytime, just to keep coming back and taking those bodies. So the hen hut was a pretty horrific sight, and it's absolutely devastating to see. I've looked after these hens all winter through the housing order, you know, they've really stuck it out having to be inside, and then just when we were nearing the light at the end of the tunnel, this happened. So absolutely devastated by that. On the farm here, foxes are something which we would leave alone until they caused us a problem. Obviously we have a problem fox which was absolutely happy to come and kill everything. We've lived alongside that fox for obviously however long, it hasn't bothered us. I actually followed some of the trails of feathers the next day, and it was quite early in the morning, maybe about 6:30, and I watched this fox in broad daylight just playing around in one of the fields a few fields away from the farm. So I actually have some friends who have all the proper equipment, night vision, a proper rifle, and I asked them to come and deal with the fox. Obviously, because the fox keeps returning to the hen hut to pick up the bodies that it left there before, that was a good place for my friends to stake out, and being pretty certain that the fox would be back. Luckily, they managed to kill it cleanly, one shot, instantly, which obviously is reassuring for me that the fox didn't suffer, despite the fact that it's caused these hens suffering. And yeah, I'm absolutely devastated. The reality is that foxes have no natural predators, and in cases like this, they unfortunately do need controlling. So my job today is to clean out the hen huts, just feathers everywhere, absolutely awful. I'm not going to show you. Going to clean them out and hopefully get ready to restock with hens at some point. But obviously, financially, some of the hens were quite valuable, but emotionally, yeah, you're not just going to get those hens back again. One thing I will also add is that we are lucky that we are still able to control foxes by shooting them. There are some other animals which cause absolute havoc with farmers, particularly in the bird category, which are not allowed to be shot. Therefore, they can cause absolute carnage, particularly with sheep and newborn lambs. So we are lucky that we have been able to dispatch this problem fox in this scenario. We are currently in the lambing shed and we are doing a few lamb's feet, so just checking if there's any lame ones. What we have done is used our handling system to section off a bit of the shed and then make a little pen here where we can easily catch the lambs. So it's a case of tipping up the lamb, so a little bit ungainly, but it's the best way to hold them. And then it's a case of just checking in between their toes. My glove has broken, but it's just looking in there, making sure that it's dry and not sore. That one also fine. Then leaning down just to check the back ones. This one's been a bit of a wriggler. So that one looks like it might be just a little bit sore in there. Not too damp, but might start. So I'll put a little bit of blue spray and he'll be on his way. I'm just going to show you the back foot of this little guy. So, can you see in there that there's moisture and it's that kind of whiteness? Hopefully that comes up okay on here. So obviously he's sore in there, not going particularly lame when he's walking and running around, but blue spray and he'll be going better in no time. So for those of you wondering what blue spray is, when I keep referring to that, it's this stuff. There's kind of different types, brands, but if I read off what it is used for. So, prevention of infections of superficial traumatic or surgical wounds caused by microorganisms sensitive to chlorotetracycline or something, can be used as part of a treatment for superficial claw/hoof infections, in particular interdigital dermatitis in sheep and, well, digital dermatitis in cattle. So that's exactly what we're using it for, that soreness in their feet, and it's very, very good stuff. And these lambs will be, the few that we've done will be running back in better this evening. Any of you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this little lamb before, and this is the one that has just been born in the last week or so, in a little accident, and there's her mum there with a pink marker on her head. But yeah, thriving, really growing well. That's it for this week's video. Thank you as always for watching. Apologies I missed last week, just loads of stuff on, and I thought, you know what, YouTube's going to have to take a back seat for that week. But if you enjoyed the episode, please do like and subscribe to my channel.